just trying to get YouTube to come on. We'll see what happens. Wicked Fluxed, how are you? Love Winds, Bobble Shop, Debbie Tay. Hi, how is everyone? Happy Thursday. Good. Hi, Wendy. Wendy, yes, that's an amazing idea for future. I do have the stuff to make the beaded spiders, and I would be happy to do a demo on that. I sell quite a few of them at the in-persons, so I do have all the things. Signature Sonia, hello. So my dear friend Alice had a fabulous idea, and so we're going to roll with it today and see how it goes. For those of you that are new to me, you are not aware, I used to every Thursday do Create With Me kits. So I would pre-sell the kits for the upcoming shows, and then we would all do them together. Skipper Miller, hi, hon. So I have a ton of kits left over. I need to make inventory for my in-person shows. I'm doing very well. How are you doing? So what I'm going to start doing is pulling out some of the old kits. And because we are multicasting to YouTube, if you want to buy this kit, it is available in the bin. And if you buy it, then you have 60 days to rewatch it on Whatnot, or you can just go over to the YouTube channel and watch it being made. So this particular design, I have 4 kits left, and it is for a bracelet and earrings. And what you get is all of the beads, all of the findings. The only thing is you have to obviously have your own tools to do this. So my thought process for the day is we're just going to start grabbing bags of kits that I have available, and we're going to make some stuff. Sound like a game plan? The first thing we're going to make is this crystal bracelet, and you get all of these things. With this particular kit, you will learn how to make your own head pins, how to make your own ear wires, and how to string a bracelet. So, and I mean, I know stringing a bracelet is like not rocket science, but some people struggle with it. And my crimp tube is on my, do you see this nonsense? This is the things. Yeah. And it gets inventory made. It gets kits in your hands so you can make your own jewelry and follow along on the tutorial. So that's what we're going to do. So, Signature Sonia, thank you. Yeah, I did. I've been on Whatnot for 3 years. And for the first 2 years, I did a kit and a bead tutorial every Thursday. The only Thursdays I missed were Thanksgiving days. And on the weeks of Thanksgiving, because we almost Thursday, I did it on Friday for Black Friday. So that's 52 weeks in a year. So that's 104 kits that I curated, designed, and had for sale for people. So that's a whole thing. So we're going to start out with this. Put your crimp tube on your wire with a wire guard. You're going to go up the tube. You're going to go up and around and back down. You want to slide that tube over so it's covering both of these wires. Slide it up. Hi, Alice. Here we are doing a kit. hold this to where it's not twisted. I don't want it too tight, but yet I don't want a lot of slack here. So if you find with this that you got a lot of slack going on, this is stainless steel, it's coated. You can kind of give it a little pinch to make it behave. Just go slow with it and you should be okay. I'm going to struggle because I said you're going to be okay, right? There we go. Okay. Now, the crimp pliers that I use are these. I have them in my bin if you want to purchase them. The very first slot here, if as you see it goes together, it creates kind of like a V. And then the 3 holes, this particular pair is for a 3mm, a 2mm, and a 1mm crimp. Basic crimp pliers just have one rounded part up here. The reason I like these is because they're also a needle nose plier, which gets in. The first thing you're going to do when you're crimping is you want to lay your crimp in this first hole closest to the handle. And that goes for either kind that you have. Make sure that you're not squeezing your wire guard and just give it a little pinch. And you can see how that turned that into a U, correct? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it at a 90-degree angle up to that spot where it's 2mm, and you're just going to squeeze that down. And what it did is it folded it over. Now, I always like to give it a good tug and make sure that I have a good crimp before I go further. You can or cannot, whichever you want, use a crimp cover. You want to lay that down inside of there. I'm going to just give it a little squeeze. And once I have that secured where it's not sliding around, I literally take my pliers and I put it at an angle. You can see that it's just on one side here. So I put it at an angle and give it a little squeeze, and then I put it at the other one. And if you work it back and forth like that, very slowly, you're going to get a good closure on that crimp bead. If you happen to squeeze it down, you can always go in and take it sideways and just give it a little bit of a squeeze and straighten it out. If you're not rough with it, these are really easy to work with. And that's where we're going to start our bracelet. Hey, how are you, Karen? Man, it has been a day. I was literally in Phoenix at like 8:30 this morning. That's ridiculous. There's no reason for me to have to go to town that early in the day. So the basic pattern here is just one of these pink crystals and then these black and pink wheels. And we're just going to alternate these. This is a basic, just a very basic, classic pattern. So, how is everybody doing today? Now I can do this and pay attention to chat. If you're watching from YouTube, thank you for joining us. We are actually live on Whatnot. And if you click the link in the top right corner of your screen, you can come join us on Whatnot and be able to read the chat. So if it sounds crazy, me talking to people, it is because there's a live chat going on over on Whatnot. So how has everyone's day been? Anything exciting going on? Does anybody have shows coming up that we need to know about? Oh, I need to tell you about the shows I have coming up. I decided next week is going to be kind of interesting. So, well, I'm going to start with the rest of this week. So, typically, Rob and I do live thrifting on Saturdays. Well, Rob's sister is in town from Montana, and she only comes out about every 3 years. And we are having a big family get together on Saturday. So, depending upon how long that lasts, Saturday's live thrifting will either be later in the day or Sunday. We haven't decided yet. It's going to just kind of depend upon how long we're at the family function. So that's the first change that's going on. Monday is Artisan Creative Train. And that is a full day of demos. And a lot of the lovely participants are in chat right now. So Monday we're doing that. Tuesday, I will probably go live thrifting a little bit. Pretty good. How do you interface YouTube and whatnot? Are you a seller on whatnot? Yes. Okay. So they used to have parameters before you could live thrift. Are you a newer seller or are you a seasoned seller? So we have about 6 inches of this. I'm taking into account about an inch for my clasp. So, okay, we got this. So we're at the end. We're going to put the crimp tube on. We're going to basically just repeat what we just did at the other end. So back to the YouTube thing. See, I can multitask today. Woohoo. It used to, you had to, hi mini me, how are you? It used to be you had to have like 1,000 sales, and your YouTube channel, you had to have a certain number of followers and all the things. I do not know what the current parameters are to multi-stream, but when you go into your show, if you hit the 3 dots, like right here, before you start your show, it should pull up a thing, multicast to other platforms. And that you go in there and you have to link your accounts together. If you have a problem getting it done, if you go to help.whatnot.com, they actually have a tutorial on there of how to do it. So I've strung this back through here. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that your wire is back here. You want to make sure that this is moving. And usually what I'll do is lay it down and make sure that it lays comfortably in a circle. You also need to take into account that we're putting this other crimp cover on it. If you are not comfortable with eyeballing it, right this second, I can stick this on here and see how much room I have and if it's going to make my bracelet too tight. I've been doing it for so many years, I just don't even worry about that anymore. But it's something that you may want to measure. I'm looking at this. I have a Love wins. Thank you so much for the tip. You did not have to do that, love. I seriously am all about helping people succeed. It is all about community for me, and absolutely will. And if you get it set up, come back and let us know what your YouTube channel is, and we will all go follow you. That's what we do in my beady community. Skipper, thank you. All right, so we have a little bit of room. We're moving. This kind of feels tight to me. See how it's springy? I don't like that. So what I'm going to do, hi Renee, how are you, beautiful? I'm going to kind of loosen it up a little bit before I crimp this down because I don't want this bracelet tight. This bracelet is too pretty to be stiff. Okay, see now we've got some movement in here. And when I push this down, it's not like fing. It still goes into a comfortable circle. You want it to lay. I'm doing good, babe. It's been a day. I've been to Phoenix and back today. Um, I was to Phoenix and back before noon, which says a lot for Tam. I don't normally do Phoenix on a good day afternoon. Thank you. I've been beading. I've been working with beads for many, many years. I have been professionally teaching for, gosh, 30 years plus. I say 30 years, and I'm sure if I sat down and figured it out, it's probably a lot more. But I love teaching. I also teach art classes. I teach journaling, um, Stampin' Up. I did for 15, 20 years. All the things. So I just love creating and I love sharing with people how to make pretties. We haven't for quite a while done a mental health journaling class in my art room. Um, so you can go back and watch it. It should be on the YouTube channel. I also have kits available for this, and you didn't miss the important part, which is the earrings. So when you're cutting off this excess wire, you want to use this side of your flush cutter, and it's called a flush cutter because it's flat. You want the flat part up against your bracelet or whatever it is you're cutting, but always, always, always before you snip, look and make sure that you only have one wire in there, because if you cut through this, it's only going to take once because you're going to have to start over and you will never forget to check again. So we're going to snip this, and I want you to watch what's going to happen. See, there's that gap there. When I snip that, the center of that wire just fell into this bead, and I have the room up here to put my crimp cover. And that is something that you will learn to eyeball with time, or you can just constantly measure. It doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with measuring every time. Whatever works for you. There's a million ways to do this, and my way is not the only way. You find a way that works for you. And there we have that. See how we're flowy here? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some jump rings and we're going to attach a clasp. Renee, this week has honestly been horrible for me. Renee, I'm sorry, love. Did you at least get your package from me today? Thank you for your purchase in the bin. I appreciate you. Open side to side. Always open your jump rings side to side. If you pull them apart, you ruin that perfect circle that's been created, and the integrity of that circle will never be the same again. So I'm hooking on one side of my toggle, and I'm just closing it the same way I opened it, side to side. Okay. We are going to open this And I'm going to show you. You want to grab one side with one pair of pliers. It's taking sweet time. A second pair, and look how I do this. Just rotate side to side. If you rotate it straight, it's going to go back into a perfect circle, okay? So for this one, we're going to hook on the other end of our bracelet. We're going to hook on this cute little key charm, and then we're going to hook on the other side of our toggle. I'm going to grab a hold of it, and just the same way we opened it, we're just going to go the opposite direction. And if you're finding that they're not closing completely, go past a little bit and let it spring back. And that's how you get a good closure on your bracelet. Easy peasy. We're going to see if this is going to work. It is. And we made a bracelet. I don't think I like that charm there, though. We may have to fix that. But there we go. Bracelet. Done. Let's make some earrings to match it. Oh, what do we have here, Tam? Do you know how long it's been since I've done this kit? This was February of 2025. Thank you. Here, I'll pin it so you can see what it looks like. What it's supposed to look like. So there, that's pinned. And you can go in and you can click on the picture and you can see what it's supposed to look like. I'm kind of curious why I have 1, 2. Okay, so the longer ones. Okay. The longest one is to make ear wires. Okay. The next to the longest are going to be a knotted head pin. And then these are going to be the eye pins. Okay, got this. So, if you have never made a knotted head pin before, pay attention. This is really easy. Missy Sue, hi beautiful, how are you? Okay, so we have this. I've demoed this a bazillion times. It's on my YouTube channel and various demos. If my YouTube channel is Tam's Creative Journey, it is all one word, there's no spaces. And if you go to the lives, you will see the different shows that have been multicast over there. And there you can just fast forward through all the talking and chatting and all of that. So you're going to grab a pair of round nose pliers. This is at least I did it, 3-inch piece of bare copper wire. You want to grab a hold where there's nothing sticking out, and we are just going to roll. Now we're going to roll down and you kind of want to make sure, see how they're lining up on my plier? It's important that you have them lined up. If it starts doing this nonsense, just straighten it around so they're actually on top of each other, okay? Grab a hold of both and keep going. And once you've hit like this, so you see here where we started, so you have 2 wraps. That's not supposed to look like that, so I'm going to straighten it up a little bit. Once you have 2 full wraps, you want to grab a hold where you first started, and we're going to push this straight up, okay? So it's created like a hockey puck. Does that make sense? Missy Sue, I messaged you for when you have time later. Okay, sounds good. Welcome in, everybody. We are making knotted head pins. So I find if I keep it on my plier, it's easier to play with, okay? We're going to take a hold of this and we're just going to bend it. And this is where the knot comes in. So what I like to do, you don't want to crimp in it. So you see I've bent it around my finger, but it's lower than this because when I take my pliers away, I want it to go through those loops that we made, okay? So we're just going to push it through here. See how that goes through there? You want to grab a hold of that end with your needle nose pliers, and you can use your fingers and pull. It's starting to go. However, it is much easier if you have a good grip on this to use a pair of nylon pliers and use, I'm pulling opposite directions, and you can see how that's pulling down. And you just want to keep pulling until you have a good knot. Okay. If it's a little wonky, you can adjust it. Be the boss of your wire. Make it go the way you want it to go. And you can just maneuver it down. Sometimes it works really perfectly and you don't even have to adjust. But I'm glad that this happened so I can show you how to adjust it. Once you have it adjusted, you just take your nylons and you straighten that wire out. And you have a knotted head pin. Bada bing. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Ready? We'll see if this one plays nice. Neither one of my ends are flush cut, so I'm going to just snip this so it's flush cut. Always cover when you're cutting because those little pieces fly and they can get in your eyeballs. Hi Mapes, how are you? The duvet cover in the bin with crochet edge is fire. You know, I got that duvet cover. We were live shopping and I had like 5 people say they wanted a piece of it. And so I agreed to buy it and chop it up and put it in the bin. And you know, out of the 5 people that said they wanted it, only one person has bought a piece of it. I know. They're amazing. I actually did a demo. I used that to make snippet rolls. It was fun. I'm not sad. I will use it. Every time I run out of it, I just pull another one out of the bin. So if y'all want some good, nice cotton with lace, here we go again. Okay, flush up against here. I'm holding this up against the plier so I have a tight wrap. I'm slowly releasing, and remember we want to go underneath that last one. So we're just stacking them on top of each other. You're going to keep doing that round and around until you reach where we started up here. Once you reach where you started up here, we're going to grab a hold of it and you're just going to push straight up. Okay? Once you've pushed straight up, you use your finger and you bend this back towards the knot, but it's easier if you make it go lower than where these are. It makes it easier. How have you never seen my whatnot place? Are you playing in my bin, Alice? I did them for a raid train like a year ago. Yeah, it was a raid train that we did like a year ago. It was crap. Whatnot inspired. Tamika ran it. I made my item that because you had to create one item that was whatnot inspired. So for my one big item, I created a like a it was like a pinch pot, but I shaped it to hold artist trading cards. And it had a little whatnot waddy on the front of it. It was pretty cool. Okay, so then you're going to release and you're just going to bend this through. Again, feed that back through. So it's like this. Hi, Maria. How are you, love? Get a good hold on the end with your pliers. And so I don't know if I can do this, if I can show you, as this is what happens when you use your nylon. I'm holding my fingers. It just pulls through, okay? It's much easier with the nylons because it holds it straight. But we're just pulling this through and creating a knot. Maybe. Why is it acting a fool? Of course it's acting a fool. You know the funny part about this? It's a lot easier if you use 22 gauge wire, not 20. But, here we are. And just pull it through to make a knot. Come on. Again, I guess we're going to adjust because that's what the day is about today. I mean, I guess they both need to mess up so they match for our earrings, right? There we go. It's all wonky, but that's okay. Maria, did you have a good day at work? Oh my God, the picture of you in that hat was so sweet. That hat is so you. I was so scared it was going to get crushed in shipping. I jammed it full of so much rosin paper. And I didn't feel bad using so much paper because I knew that you would use the paper in your art. Okay, so there we have the head pins for our earrings. Bada bing. So to make our earrings, we are going to string on one of these. We'll do both of them at the same time. Then we're going to do one of the pink crystals. And then we're going to do one of the small rounds. So this is going to be the first part. And these are going to be swayy, swingy earrings. I knew you would be. I'm like, Maria's not going to care if I send her a ton. So for the second part of the earring, we're just going to repeat this, but what we're going to do is just a simple loop. We're not going to do wrapped loops. We're just going to do a simple loop here. In order to do a simple loop from just a plain piece of wire, okay, you're going to grab this end again, making sure that this is not poking out. Wrap it around. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get this in the camera so you can see. Wrap it around until it hits the wire where we started, okay? Once you hit the wire where you started, you're going to go back to where that meets, and you just want to push it back a little bit. You may have to adjust, but that is how you make a simple loop. It's really that easy, okay? Really that easy. straighten it out. One of the things with doing wire wrapping is there is absolutely no need to panic about things. Take your time. It's just wire. You can fix it. You can straighten it. The only thing you can really do with wire is overwork it. And if you overwork it, then it's going to snap. So just be conscious of that. Okay, so now we have 2 eye pins that we have created ourselves, right? Very simple. We're going to do the same thing with this. Now, when you are doing an eye pin, but you love panicking. I know, right? It's like, it's just wire, guys. It's the thing with making jewelry is the more you do it, the more of these that you do, the easier it's going to get and the more comfortable your hands are going to be with doing this, okay? I'm going to show you the proper way to do this. Okay. So if you are going to do, say we've got these on our head pin, you want to go all the way down to your beads and then you want to come up just a smidge and you're going to bend this over, okay? Now for me, when I make a loop, I hold it like this and I cut it right at the edge of my finger. It is approximately 5/8 of an inch. Thank you. I'm going to again take my flesh cutter because I want that to be a straight cut. I'm going to hold on to this so it doesn't go flying and I'm going to snip that off, okay? I'm going to hold on to this. Then I'm going to take my round nose just like we just did and I'm just going to roll this up to where it meets that wire where we started. Easy peasy, right? Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. The difference this time, because we're making earrings and we want them to match, we're going to take our plier, if I can find the right pliers, we're going to bend this over. I could cut this right here. Zombie, hi baby. But if I take this first piece that I chopped off, I'm going to have the exact same length, okay? Does that make sense? So when you're making earrings, you want everything to be the same. And in order to do that, you just use your first cut so your loops are going to be the same size. Did that make sense? Did I say that right? I feel like I did. And again, we're just going to roll this over and make a loop. Okay? So that part's done. Thank you. Never thought to do that. Yeah. I mean, these are a little bit, because we're making our own, you have to make sure that your wires are the exact same length when you start for that to work. But if you're using pre-purchased and you're making your loops the same size, it'll come out perfect every time. And that keeps your earrings the same length, right? Because do you know how annoying it is to make a pair of earrings and they're not the same length? Yes, we all do. We've all done it. So we're going to string these on. I know there's a hole in this bead somewhere. Elusive little booger. And we're going to do the same thing again. Now this is where you can decide if you want your loops going the same direction, opposite. It's completely up to you. Player's choice, right? We're just doing exactly what we just did. We're going to take this. We're going to snip. And you absolutely can measure this, but you're going to find that about 5/8 of an inch is about the correct for a decent loop, okay? That one's a little bit long. We may have to adjust that. It may be OCD choice. I know, right? Welcome to my OCD world, my friends. And on today's agenda, making loops. I'm getting notices from Whatnot, like, what? Why? Your show's about to start. You're a little bit late there, bud. My show started like an hour ago. Gotta love Whatnot. Okay, so we have our pieces. We've created these. Oh my gosh. I don't have ear wires to match my earring, right? Never fear. You can make your own. It's so simple. All right, so we're going to straighten this wire out because it's going to come in your kit so it fits kind of bent a little bit. So we're going to straighten this out. And this particular piece of wire in your kits is 4 inches, okay? We're going to cut it in half. We want 2 inches to make an ear wire. So I'm down here with my ruler chopping it in half. So your 4-inch piece, you're going to cut down to 2. If I can get a hold of it, it will be so much easier. We're going to set this aside for right now while we make some ear wires. You want to make sure that your ends are flush cut, okay? And what I mean by that is you're cutting it with the flat side of your flush cutters. So you don't have pokey ends. See how that is flush? See how these are pokey? You don't want pokey ends. It will hurt your ears. So we're going to flush cut these, and I'm cutting them to where they're the exact same size. Okay? Ready? I like to use my 6-step pliers for this. You can do these with round nose. You just need to make sure and mark so they're the same. Okay? I'm going to use the smallest. I'm even. I'm going to hold them just like we just did loops, and we're going to take them around until we meet where we started. Okay? Just like we were making eye pins, we're going to go back. We made eye pins. Are we ready? This is how easy ear wires are, you guys. For this particular pair, we're going to get fancy because we want it to match our earrings. So we're going to put a bead on. Okay. Once you've put your bead on and you look at this, your loop goes back. Okay. So you want it to go the opposite side of where your loop is. You're going to grab a hold of this, make sure it's straight. And you're just going to bend it. See how we just did that? We bent it. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. We're going to bend it away. So I'm going to show you again. This is where it's at. So you're going to bend it the opposite of where this meets the wire. Ready? So we have these two. Bada bing. They're the same size. Easy peasy, right? I'm setting this, I'm setting them on my finger where they're straight. You can do these one at a time if you would like. You can do them at the same time, whatever works best for you. I'm using the next to the largest one on my 6th step. And I'm pushing this in here, and we're going to get it in the camera. Don't normally struggle with this like this, but here we are getting in the camera. Okay, we're just going to do one at a time so you can see what I'm doing. So when you bend it backwards, you want to set this up against the largest piece. You want to make sure this is straight up and down, and then you're just going to bend the wire over. Bam. Okay. It's really that simple to make air wires. Again, I'm holding it. I'm making sure this is straight, up and over, all the way down. So this is what we have. Now, you want to, if you're making air wires, you do not want them to lose their shape, right? So there's a couple of ways. Oh, sorry, that decided to jump out and say hi to us. There's a couple of ways to do it. You can get a bench block with just a nylon hammer. You can get a piece of steel. You can get anything that is a hard surface, but you need to have a nylon plier. And what you want to do is take this and you want to just give it taps. And what that does, it's called work hardening, right? Husband's head. I actually, before I bought this, I went into Rob's workshop and grabbed just a plate sheet of scrap metal and pounded on that. When I started doing demos, he told me that it looked cheesy and I needed to have a bench block. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So here we are. No, hubby's head is hard as a rock. We know this. So what I've done is I've work hardened this. See how it's not really going anywhere? Because I've work hardened it and saved that shape. If I take the other one that I haven't pounded yet, it's going to bend, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to give it a little tappity tap tap because we want that curve to stay. Rude, because I like to show how to create on a budget. We need to learn how to improvise when we don't have all the things. Exactly, and I'll tell you all the ways. Because, when I was crafting back in the day, I was a single mom and I was broke ass all the time. However, I trained my kids to bring me found items to create art with. That was fun. So we have that. We're good. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you can hammer this edge down. I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to lay this on here and I'm going to grab an actual hammer, maybe. So if I lay it down here, see that broken fingernail? That's because I smashed my thumb. It's awesome. Nope, I'm going to hold right here. And when I'm hitting, I'm pulling. I'm doing this. And it's just very light taps. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to do the other side. And see how that has that? That's like a whole professional earring going on there, my friends. Let's do the other one. Ma'am, I do this all the time. This is why my fingernails are always trashed. I try so hard to make them pretty. It just doesn't work out very often. They last for about 3 or 4 days. Okay, so those are all hardened. They're worked hardened. They're all the things. Now, you notice most earrings have that little flip up at the end. So what you can do is, as long as I get this to hold straight, hold these in your hand. Sometimes it's easier if you put them back on here. I usually do this part before I do all of this, so we're going backwards. Maybe. Are you going to cooperate? Nah, they're not going to cooperate on there. Okay. So anyway, what you want to do is grab a hold of the end and just give it a little bend up. Okay? Very, very important when making earrings at this point. You absolutely, positively, 100% have to have a file. If you do not own a file, if you do not own this, what is called a burr cup, don't make your ear wires, please. I'm going to show you how to do it with a basic file, and then I'm going to show you how to do it with this burr cup. What the burr cup is a diamond, and it's concave, and it fits over your wire, so your wire fits down in there, and you spin, and what it does is it files down any sharp edges from your ear wires. If you do not have either one of these tools, please, please do not make ear wires. And there is a reason I say that. Somebody on this app made ear wires and sold a pair of earrings to a good friend of mine, and it sliced open the hole in her ear. It is a diamond file. This is not a diamond file. This is just a cheap file from Harbor Freight. Yeah. So I'm caveat to this. If you are making ear wires, do it correctly and file any sharp edges off or just buy them. Because it can cause permanent damage to people's ears. It will cut them. This is sharp wire. Have you seen my hands? Can you imagine that on the side of your face or your ear? Yeah. So feel it, make sure. I know. So I always make sure and tell this part and the story. I mean, it's awful that it happened, but I always tell you to file these, but until that happened, I never really explained the importance of it. You know what I mean? Okay, that one's good. And I usually just lay it on my finger just to steady it, so I make sure that I get all sides. Because, I mean, I have calloused fingers, so it's not going to hurt my fingers. What I like to do, this is my go-to with these, is I file all of the sharp edges with this file. And you can kind of see the copper on my file, so you know that it's getting all that off. Once it's pretty smooth, then I'll take the burr cup to it, and I'm double doing it. I'm always searching for pokey things and sharp things on my jewelry because of my sensory issues. Yeah, it's like you got to think about that. When you make pretty things, think about what it's going to feel like when you're wearing it. When I do like a new design or I play with something new for the first time, excuse me, I always wear it for a week or two to see how it goes. I'm awful on jewelry. Like, I'm horrible with it. I will just tear the crap out of jewelry. But I want to make sure that it's not going to hurt anybody. So we've made pretty ear wires. We have our components. Let's put our earrings together. So this is the first piece that we did, our knotted head pin. We want to attach it to this, okay? So just like with any other, you want to open it side to side, hook them together, and close it side to side. We're going to do, except for you don't want to do it upside down. She's a freaking Pete, Tamara. Pay attention to the direction of what you're doing. It's important. Yeah, I just did that. Go to the bottom. Put them together correctly. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're making earrings and a bracelet. We're making a jewelry set. That's what we're doing. There we go. Way to go, Tam. Rocking this, girl. I know, right? Ma'am, I am all about tools. Like, I'm telling you. Okay. Then we're going to take our ear wires. Same deal. Open them side to side. Hook that on. Close it. And I like to give it a little tap to make sure it's going to stay. I've got to laugh at least once a day, right? Open, attach, close, tap, tap. There we go. So, there. So with just a handful of beads, a couple of pieces of copper wire, we were able to make a bracelet and a pair of earrings. Pretty simple. The kit to do all of this is pinned below if you would like to grab them. If you do grab one today, you can watch this replay for 60 days. If you have all the beads and things and you want to do it yourself, you can go on over to, I did not. You can go over to the YouTube channel and just watch it on there. What did Maria ask me? Do you sell the Cuppy file thingy? I do not. I could obtain one for you when I bake. Oh, sorry guys, baker check. Hi, baby. When I go over to the bead store again, I can see if they have them, and I can grab some. But if you don't want to wait, I can send you a link. I'll look, but I can send you a link for them. Babe, I can text it too. So that there's our thingy for the day. I did, and I know that. Alice, you know my tones too well. Yeah. They're not expensive. The wire supply store here in town where I get a lot of my copper and sterling, I don't know if I have it here, if it's in my bead bag. I actually bought a second one so I would have it in my bead bag at all times for in-persons. And I'm slowly building up my tools. So I have duplicates of everything so I don't have to unpack my bead bag when I get back from shows. And I just bought one and I want to say it was around $10. So I love that set. Does the peach one that is in the bin also have the earrings or just the bracelet? You ordered one a few weeks ago and it's still in transit. Yeah. Man, this is so stupid. Somebody shipped me, I got a whole thing of beads, but I can't even believe I just said that out loud. But anyway, I have a whole thing of beads on its way to me. It was 8 large flat rate boxes. Obviously, they were picked up by the post office all on the same day, and I got 3 of them today. 3 of the 8. And according to my informed delivery, I'm going to get 2 or 3 in the next couple of days. It's insanely crazy. The post office is just dumb right now. That's what I'm trying. The point I was trying to make is that the post office has issues right now. Craft Owl. It is a ton of beads, yes. It is such a ton. How are you doing, Craft Owl? I haven't seen you in forever. Sarah, are you feeling better? Are you doing all the things? I'm making jewelry today. Flip the stitch, upcycle. Hello and welcome. All right. So this kit is available. It is pinned. Nice. So does that mean you're going to come play with us again, my dear? Are you ready to come play with us again? Okay. You know my brain. You should probably send me a DM. Okay, thank you. For the raid train, what I've been doing is, because this one is Monday, and I have been sending out the sign up for the following month the week after the train, and it typically fills up within 2 hours. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. Let's see what else we can play with today. Oh, I know what we're going to play with today. This is what we're going to play with. So these are Caribbean calcite and clear quartz. It's your birthday weekend. Oh yeah, you're an April baby too. We have so many birthdays in April. So my daughter-in-law's is the 2nd. Today is Bailey's. My daughter's is the 13th. My son is the 21st. My dad's was the 17th. Ellen, thank you. We are doing fabulous. Craft Dolls the 11th. So many birthdays in April. So many. I always, Maria, I'm sorry. I always do that. My dad and Maria's birthday is the 17th. One of the beloveds was that, well, happy belated birthday, love. Like, it's April. It's just like a whole whop load. We used to call it my birthday hell because we would do like birthday parties for individual parties for everyone. And like, I've got grandkids and I never forget you, love. Oh my God. I know the Aries in my life, I'm telling you. But anyway, so starting March 21st to May 30th, we have at least one birthday a week. So we would go through like 6 weekends of family parties and family birthdays when the kids were little. And as they got older, I was like, nope. So then we started doing a March birthday party, an April birthday party, and a May birthday party. So I didn't have to do 10 birthday parties. You feel, yeah. So I just have this little thing where I put my scrap in. Um, you don't want to throw away your scraps. You may or may not need it one day. Your families are November babies. Yeah. I'm like the oddball out because mine's in July. Yes, we did one party a month and we celebrated everybody's. Like we would go to like a public park. I would have a birthday cake for everybody that had a birthday that month. We would line them up on the table, have everybody sit down in front of their cake. We would all sing happy birthday. Each person would cut their own cake, and then you got your choice of what cake you wanted, and then the kids could go play at the park. It was the best. It was like once I started doing that and got over having to have a weekly birthday party, my life was so much easier. It was. It was so nice. Okay, friends, these beautiful, beautiful Caribbean calcite. I can't even. I am so in love with them. My best friend and I share a birthday too. We spend each year doing something with wildlife. Yeah, Rob and I, that's funny. Our anniversary is coming up. And every year for our anniversary, we go camping for 4 days and legit shut off the phones. So I will be, yeah, it's every year. We have done it for a long time. Have not really done it since your grandpa passed. I'm sorry, babe. You know, y'all need to start these traditions. Don't let the traditions go when the elders go. Create new ones. It's so important. It is very important to create new ones. So I'm throwing down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this because this is a really pretty faceted. And then I'm going to set 2 aside for the earrings. These are clear quartz. And we will use a few of these in here. Wait, I missed, hold on, back up, camera. I am nuts. My first camping trip I did when I was little ended up watching Children of the Cornfield. Children of the Corn. Well, that's hilarious. I love that movie. The book was so much better, though. That was back in the days when they butchered Stephen King books. Wonder Beloved, I miss going off grid, but it's gotten kind of dangerous where I used to go. Ma'am, find a new place. Find a new place. It is so important to get out in nature and reset. Okay, these beads are absolute fire. We'll see how this is going to go. Anyway, I have this Caribbean calcite. I love it very much. You all know that I got this raw bracelet of Caribbean calcite when we were in Tucson and I fell in love with it. So I have been on the hunt for really good. You need to leave Washington. Is Washington getting really bad? Like, you're not the first person that's told me that. It used to be like so laid back. Yep. Well, if you could adjust to the heat, you could come to Arizona with us. Was it you I was talking with about bringing on period movies? No. It's getting like Jersey. Oh my lord. Yeah, I didn't last in Jersey long, you guys. At all. No, it's less than a year. No, no ma'am. Not for me. So as always, I'm just kind of laying out a pattern for a bracelet. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we're gonna do this thing. As I'm finding beads that look very similar, I'm setting them off to the side for earrings. Okay? Yes. The stones on me. These are 12 millimeter. I say that with the greatest hesitation. They may be 14. They're 14s. They're 14s. I love them so much. I need to get more. These were one of those things where we were walking through one of the venues in Tucson, and it wasn't even really a bead seller. They were selling like metaphysical things with like bags and excuse me, charging plates, that kind of stuff. And he had like a little table, and the blue caught my eye, and I just kind of stopped and looked. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are these? And he's like, oh, they're Caribbean calcite. Um, he's like, we used to sell jewelry, but we're really not doing it anymore. And I'm like, do you have any more? He's like, no, those are all I have left. And he had 4 of them on his table. All right, babe, have a good day. Much love to you, babe. He had 4 bracelets on his table, and 2 of them were the 14 millimeter, and 2 of them were the 12 millimeter. And I bought all 4 of them. And then, literally live thrifting that weekend, and somebody bought the one off of my arm. So that's kind of how that goes down. People buy jewelry straight off my arm. This one's not for sale. I'm just saying. So that's a thing. I'm pretty sure I just heard Rob walk in the door. Yep. Welcome home. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. And I also got these in 6 millimeter. So let's see if we can incorporate some 6 millimeter into this.
I'm covered in insulation dust.
Oh, hi. Yucca.
So I'm gonna go get a shower.
Okay, do you want to get me some hot coffee before you do that?
Yes.
Because my coffee got cold very fast. Thank you, love. I made a fresh pot. You have a big palm stone of it. I actually have up here, I have this raw chunk that I got. I'm pretty sure I got this from Alice. Just so pretty. Anyway, on my desk. I've had it up there for a long time. And yeah, I need to get more. I got these beads. There's some of them in there that aren't highly polished. I prefer the raw stones, honestly. But, that's a thing. Time out, please. Perfect. Thank you, darling. I love you. He brought me hot coffee. So I'm just trying different. I'm trying to find some raw ones that are not polished. That's my goal, is to find the raw ones. And I didn't see any when we were in Tucson. It doesn't mean that nobody has them. I just didn't see them because there's a lot to see in Tucson. Okay. So we're gonna do, let's do 4 and well, the lighter one's up there, so I need a couple more. This is literally how I design jewelry, you guys. I just lay it out, do my thing. So thanks for hanging with me. So if we do 4 there, maybe, we'll see, how long is that? Because we need, oh, that's like done without any spacers. Maybe we shouldn't do 4. Let's see what we got for spacers over here. Do we want to do antique bronze? Greta, shut your mouth. Just don't torture me with panic. I don't need a panic attack right now. No, I'm not. Shh. Hush. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. No, I am not ready for next week. I'm just like in a panic over next week. Here we are. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I started listing stuff and then I decided that it was crazy insane to try to individually list everything. So I did list a bunch of Tula fabric, and what I'm going to do is like all of the D-Stashy beady stuff or the D-Stashy art stuff. I'm going to just do a blanket listing for all of them. Because I have about 500 items and just get through as many of them as I can in the time frame. So if you are wondering what we're talking about, I am co-hosting Crazy Craft D-Stash Train on the 15th, which is next Wednesday. I'm co-hosting with Dana's Fancy Feathers, and it is going to be hour-long shows with 15-second sudden death auctions, and everything will be a $3 start. So Monday is our artisan creative train. Are you ready? Do you have your demo ready for Monday, Greta? Back at you with the panic attack. You'll figure that out an hour before the show. Gotcha. So I really like these little beads to put in between because it helps. They almost act like ball bearings and create some movement in bracelets. So it's always, whether you're using little rounds or whether you're using just something small, it creates movement in your bracelet. And once I start putting this together, you'll see what I mean by that. Especially if you're using larger beads, you don't want to put a whole bunch of beads next to each other without putting something in between to give it some movement. Make a sense? I'll show you what I mean as soon as I make sure I have all the things I need out of here. So there's two. Okay, that should be good. And I'll do this for a little dingly thingy. Make a little dingle out of that. So when you have a bracelet that is on a cord, per se, I was trying to come up with a good comeback, and that just sounded like a good idea. I have my demo for Monday done. We're going to be doing the purse dangles, and I have kits for all of them. I have a blue, a green, and a purple version. Thanks, love. So when you have the beads all next to each other, so see how it bends? You can see the cord, right? But if you have a bracelet like this, where you have spacers in between, it gives it that movement. So think about that when you're designing. Make sure that you have proper movement with your beads, right? It makes it, in the end, it makes everything flow a lot easier. Hi, Chloe. How are you, beautiful? We're making pretties today. What you up to? Hello, lovely. You know, we all swipe out every once in a while. It's kind of crazy around here. You know, I've learned though, if you accidentally swipe out of somebody's show, if you swipe everything up, or is it down? It'll take you back to down. It'll take you back to the show that you were previously in. I accidentally did that the other day. Chloe, I'm sorry to hear that you're sick, babe. I'm doing okay. I'm overwhelmed. I have overbooked myself, and yes. Oh, Karen Baker Chick. Weekend thrifting is going to be wonky because we have a family dinner on Saturday. We may or may not go live Saturday night, but we're talking about doing it Sunday. So, Chloe, I went through that whole weather change sickness when we went from 40 degrees to 100 degrees in like 2 days flat. Because, you know, Arizona acts like a fool. Oh my gosh. You're at a quilting retreat? Wait a minute. Baker Chick. I'm at a quilting retreat on Lake Huron. Oh my God, how will I get anything done? Literally looking at the water. Ma'am, find a rock, stick your feet in it, and take a slow stitch kit with you. 70 degrees today. We are currently at almost 5 o'clock. It's 4:56. And it is 86 degrees in Arizona. We went from 19 to 75 like makeup. Oh yeah, we bounced back and forth for about 3 weeks, and I got a nasty respiratory. Like, I thought I was going to die respiratory. It was bad. I was like, can't do this. It was pretty bad. It was awful. Okay. So I'm grabbing crimp tubes, flinging them all over the place because that's a situation. Grabbing some wire guards. Couple of crimp covers. Preferably some that are not stuck together. Are you not going to pop open for me? Yeah, I'm not fighting you today. It looks like I did that whole I'm not fighting you today because there's a whole bunch of them hooked together. Okay, crimp covers. And let's do a couple of jump rings. And I'm going to grab an 8mm in case I end up using a lobster with this instead of a toggle. We'll see how it works out for us. Yeah. Okay. Got all your boxes today, but as I was leaving for retreat, we'll open Sunday. Oh, there's some good stuff in there. Oh, I'm going to say this. The green dress that you got, I don't remember if it was Saturday with Rob or Tuesday with Jordan. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, that green dress. I think it was with Jordan. If that doesn't fit you, ma'am, I will buy that back from you. That's all I got about it. It is amazing. So I'm calling dibs on it if it doesn't fit you. It was Tuesday. See? Jordan remembers. Do you remember that green dress, Jordan? Oh my gosh. I was packing everybody's orders and I pulled that out and I'm like, this is so Baker Chick, but yet it's so me. And it was gorgeous. Uh-huh. So, okay. We're going to string these and see what happens. It was so pretty. I know. It was a really pretty dress. Off we go. So, if you are not positive of your links or your design or whatever it is, we do love the same things. You can take, these are called bead stoppers. You legit don't have to have bead stoppers. You can use, I just messed up my pattern. I have all the things over here. Let me see. So you can use, I don't have any more over here. You can use like these little clips. You can use binder clips. You can actually use a paper clip. Anything to hook the end so your beads don't fall off, right? So one of the good things about doing it this way is you can test for length. You can, I know it's weird for doing it in the middle. So next, I don't know, it's going to be crazy because next Tuesday we have an appointment at 1. I don't know how long it's going to be. We're going to be at the other end of town. So I'm thinking we may go live after that. I'm not really positive. Yeah. A lot is happening. April is a busy month, you guys. And we're just going to do the best we can and go live as much as we can. So my suggestion to you is to just bookmark all the shows, or better yet, let me go to it. Unpin that. Get rid of that. Bookmark this. If you click on this and you bookmark it, I always try to hit that when I go live, and that way you get notified that I'm live. Because we've got so much going on right now. It will just notify you if I'm live. That's my suggestion to you. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing? We are making a second set right now, and I have not closed off the other end because I'm not positive of the length of this. Length of this. I feel like I have too many beads, so I want to check it and see what it's going to lay like, and if we're okay with our length. It's a lot of links and lays and all that. Get on there. Okay, so it moves well. It would look a lot better if I didn't swap those around. But it's kind of good because it lets me look at it and see which I like better. And I think I like this side better. I'm just going to buy me some tents. I put on 3 pairs of pants the day before I got one that fit. Wendy, I just gave like my 3 of my most favorite pants in the world to Jordan a couple of days ago because my menopausal booty won't fit in any of my pants. This is why I live in stretch pants and dresses. Hazy Ames, hi babe. it is the way of the world these days. I know. I love you. I can't even. It's funny, but it's not funny. It's funny, not funny. Like, what even is happening here? Okay, so we're going to swap these around because I like the green up against the quartz to begin with. And there we go. Switch that around. Amen. I love leggings. Jim was like, can you wear something else? No. No, sir, I cannot. No, not happening. I almost popped off Sammy. Oh. Jim would boop, boop de boop. Ace Ames, you've purchased some new pants for myself lately. Gravity has not been kind. Greta, we were just having that conversation the other day. Menopause is not kind. It is so rude on so many levels. Okay, so this is 6 inches. It moves well. And see what I mean by those joints with these larger beads here? It gives it a flowy movement so it'll lay well on your arm. I have muumuus. No pockets. Okay, well, I need my pockets. I like the way this moves. So we're going to close this up and figure out what we're going to do with clasp. So again, crimp tube, except for that crimp tube has like a weird thing on it. Sometimes because crimp tubes are made out of a tube, right? And they just snip them. Sometimes they have like a little divot thingy here. Make sure that that's not on there before you make your piece of jewelry. Oh my gosh, my eyes. That's the other thing that's going is my eyesight. Just to be on the safe side, snip it off. So put on, it's sharp. Crimp tube. Wire guard. Up. Over. Around. Hook that in there. Back through here. Give this a little squeezy squeeze so it's a little closer together. Try to make sure your wires are not crossed inside of your crimp tube. Grab your crimp pliers. Pockets and change with weight. He wears, yeah, right? No. Must have. Although those comfy, I don't remember what you call them. Those comfy jammies you sent me. Oh my lord. Wait till I get to the point where I just don't care and I'm gonna be like live thrifting in those jammies. That's gonna be a thing. You almost signed up for an outdoor craft thing today and reevaluated everything you through. I mean, it's not that hot there. When is it though? That's the thing. That's the question. When is the craft fair? Because that's going to determine if you're doing an outdoor. Softies, thank you. You sent the green pair for thrifting. I know, right? It's too hot to wear them now for thrifting. But this winter, ma'am, y'all are going to see me thrifting in my pajamas. I'm not even kidding. These pants are so fire. I wear them at night here. Because it still gets cold here at night. Remember how I said if it gets wonky? That got wonky. So what I'm doing is is I'm just going in with my plier and I'm giving a little squeeze to straighten it out. And it kind of opens it a little bit. And then it lets me do what I need to do to make it go straight. Bada bing. Bam. They're loungewear. Yeah, well, here they're good. Phoenix, not so good. Because in Phoenix, it's like 10 to 15 degrees hotter than it is here right now. And I would suffocate. So, there we go. Got that. All the way down. I cut an enormous piece of wire here. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's the thing. So, are we going to flow well? Yeah, I feel like we're going to be okay. All right. Another tube. Another wire guard. People wear PJs, Walmart hair, so attire is questionable out in public nowadays. You know, yes, true. I mean, I'm not gonna. I will not say that I've never gone to Walmart. No. Occasionally, this is Caribbean calcite. I especially am enthralled with it these days, and I wanted to make some jewelry for the in-person with it. I did have a couple of pieces made for our last show, but I sold them. So I ordered some of these. I need some flowies. There. I really like that. So this is clear quartz and this is Caribbean calcite. I love it too. I got this raw one when we were in Tucson. And I really like the raw stones. I haven't found a good supplier for the raw stones yet. But when I do, you can bet I'm going to have a bunch of them. Because I want a matching necklace. I mean, it's in the next room, Lynn. What do you need? You gotta get a stranger. You be selling it. My pliers, aren't they the best? I did get some more pliers in. Okay. Again, I'm going to pull this as tight as I can. Only one wire. I'm going to snip it off. I'm going to let that relax down. I'm going to put on my crimp. Am I selling them? You're killing me, Sammy. They're not cheap. I'll say that. Yeah, I can get more, hopefully. Let me double check and make sure I can get more. The gentleman that I order from, this is sad, his grandmother passed away. And so they shut down the shop for a week. And we'll reopen it Monday. So I will find out if I can get more on. I can reach out to him. Probably won't hear back from him Monday because I've been off for a week. But give me a few days to do some checking and I'll find you some. Okay, there's that. a second. What are we Googling? The sitcom Alice? Wait. I don't watch TV. I don't even know. We're going to leave this here for a minute. And we're going to come back over here to the whole earring gig. So we have these. We have these. And we have these. Like, my brain is like, do we want to throw this in to make it into a... Yes. Okay. I just talked myself through that. Yes, we do. Is quartz faceted? This is faceted. Those are smooth. How long am I on? Probably for another 15 minutes, Greta. Why? Are you going live? I've got to go grab Lynn's stuff for her. You know what I just thought of, Lynn? Oh. Okay. Well, I wonder if Seth's shoes will fit in a large flat rate box, or are they too long? That literally just occurred to me. I know. We got him huge feet, huge shoes. Rob? Hold on, babes. I'll be right back. That's funny. Lynn, I just set them like beside a large flat rate, and if I kind of do it at an angle, it'll fit. So you've got 20. It's 25, babe. With and then it would go in a large flat rate box. I will shove them in there. They're really good. Let me do this for you. Time out, guys. I'm fixing Lynn for a second. I don't know what to do by now. Add. Hey, look, I can do a quality one because I can take a picture of it for you. Not my feet, your shoes. Craft supplies still works for me. Do you want me to pin or do you just want to go grab it? I did not. No, you get this one first. Yes, they will. So get the Lynn first, and then you will have paid for flat rate, and then go get the pliers, and it should be free shipping. Don't buy the pliers, or do you need to do it all at once? Okay. Double check and make sure it's free shipping for the pliers. It should be. But you know what? Now it's been acting a fool lately. Yeah, they'll fit in the box. Perfect. Thank you, love. I appreciate you so much. Okay, back to our earrings. So, let's do... We're going to do these. Yeah, they'll fit. I'll make them fit. I can put them inside of one of Seth's shoes. Nice. Good job. It's crazy. Okay, so we have... Do we have eye pins in here somewhere? Are you kidding me right now? There they are. All right. Whoop, whoop. I will ship them out to you in the morning, babe. So my thought process with this whole scenario is this. Maybe. Let's see how this works. So, will these... His shoes is packing material, right? I like that. Just the little bronze. I think I'm going to just do that by itself. Yes, absolutely. Okay. However, I'm going to do a wrapped loop because I don't want anything to happen to these quartz crystals. Don't want to take the chance. So I am just going to do a quick wrapped loop with each one of these. Okay. Do the same thing with this one. No, it just kind of keeps it from poking around. Because you've got that, and then you've got the I'll figure it out. It's literally in a large flat rate box right now. And I'm looking like it's going to be a little bit tight, but you know, I'm creative when it comes to packing. So, you have all those frames in there too. Those are frames, right? The white bag. Do you remember what you got even? Do you want it to be a surprise, or do you want me to tell you what you just bought? That's kind of funny. That was like a horrible wrap, Tim. Do what I say, not as I do, right? Because that looks like really hideous right now. There we go. The beautiful thing about working with wire is you can always straighten it out. Snip. Snip. Straighten. Tuck. Straighten. Tuck. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom. Those We'll see where we go from there. Or do I have the, wait, do the little stickers you can get to throw in your box? Ma'am, your box is out of here. All shipments went out this morning. I'm so sorry. Honestly, didn't even think about it. Actually, Greta, if I get my crap together, I finally got the last of the swaps. I didn't even think about it, but I finally got the last of the swaps. You didn't send me, I thought you sent me swaps. This is how bad I am this month. I literally have not even been opening swaps. I have a tote and I've been putting them in there. Let me see how they are, how they're folded, and maybe I can just put it in a plain white envelope and mail it to you. I'll check them, like fold them in half and put them in like a 9x6 envelope. I don't know. I'll look at it and figure it out, babe. Spaced. PB. Brain. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. I love these quartz are so pretty. Yes, I am in survival mode right now. They're so gorgeous. So we have that. We have this one. So if we do this, I feel like we need to match. We can put one of these on there at the top. Yeah, I've been in survival mode for a few weeks, maybe a few months if we were to be really honest about it. Hell, let's get real honest, like a few years, but that's a whole nother issue. We don't talk about that too much. Oh yeah, I remember you said that. Greta. Forgive my blonde brain. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm just like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just in survival mode, folks. That's it. It's all good. So if we do this and this, and then we do this, this, and this. Is that too much? What do you think? Is that too much? I am surviving. Absolutely. I get a little dingy at times. Sometimes I say weird things. You love it? Okay. Thank you. We're going to show another fun tool to use because my brain's almost done. One step looper. Hook it in. Go slow. Don't break your beautiful quartz crystal bead. That would be very sad. I am doing the loops the same direction. You can choose to do them opposite directions, whatever fits your fancy. You got a one step looper at the thrift store for $2. Was it this size? Ma'am, everybody in this room just like stuck their tongue out at you. You like this spacer? Yeah. You think so? That's awesome. So the different sizes have different color handles. The 1.5 I use the most, but the 2.25 is like the size of most see how much. Okay, so this is a purchased. Okay. And then this is the size. So it's just a little bit smaller, like 1 millimeter smaller than most purchased eye pins and ear wires. I don't have a problem mixing them up. Some people do. So there's that. All right, off we go, loop-de-loo. So open, hook, close. Open, hook, closed. Other side, other earring. Open. Make sure these are closed. When you're doing earrings, make sure your loops are closed. If you have long hair, or if you have hair below your ears, there is nothing worse in the world than getting your hair caught in your earrings. It has got to be the most annoying thing in the world, and think about that when you're making earrings. And close that stuff up, my friends. Yeah, everybody in the chat is jealous of you, Sarah. I'm just saying right now. Oh, excuse me. Come back here. I'm just working this side to side until it meets. There we go. Okay. So we have our earrings. We have our bracelet. We are going to make, you got fussed out for a mistake this week with a new payroll system. First day with no training, my boss and I just left. I may have indulged in chocolate. Chocolate tends to trigger migraines for me. Just saying. So I'm not one to go to chocolate for stress. I will, however, down a pint of Ben and Jerry's with no questions asked. Shh, don't tell anybody that I said that. I feel like... No, we're just going to make a charm out of it. We're not going to make it too difficult. We're going to make it easy. We're going to go easy. Helps if you have the right pliers. Why are they fussing at you, Greta? You do that job meticulously and have for many years. Tell them Tiam says no, ma'am. Remember who you're talking to. Are you selling stuff tonight, Greta? Just out of curiosity. That was the hysterical part, maybe. I know, right? You know, I didn't do my bead show last night, and I told myself, you know, I'm doing a demo tomorrow. I can sell beads tomorrow. It'll be fine. You see me selling beads tonight? Does anybody want to buy beads or findings or anything like that? Because I'd be happy to run stuff. You don't stress eat? Lynn, I do. They may be in my show stuff over at the storage. I sell them at in-persons. Do you want me to toss one in your box if I do? Well, I don't drink anymore, so chocolate won't get you a DUI. Right? I'm all about the ice. Here's my thing, my snacky stuff. No, I just need to just text me that, please, babe. Because I'm gonna be like, dang it, what did Lynn want? Like I forgot Greta's dots. Yeah, my brain. I've never been one to stress eat. I am more prone to just not eating when I'm stressed, which is never a good thing. Ever. I know this. I understand this. But thank you, Lynn. Sky High, how are you, love? It's the whole thing. All right. I'm going to fix this before I get too far. No, you're just sabotaging my show next week. It was subliminal. I'm not trying to. We've got this, Greta. We've got this. We're going to hold it together. We've got this. What's the worst that can happen? There's worst. We are seasoned sellers who have been doing this for many years. We know what we're doing. It's all good. Wendy, I was allergic to chocolate when I was a kid. When I was pregnant with my youngest, I craved chocolate. Oh, hi Seahawks, welcome. Dream, how are you, love? What? How are you doing, babe? It has been so long. We are doing well. We are talking about how I just overbooked myself and have 3 raid trains next week. You've been, oh my gosh, congratulations. Did you have a girl or a boy? Do tell. Oh, little boys are the best. I know, it just popped up and I was like, wait, what? Honey, we miss you. Thank you for coming into my show. I feel honored. It's been a long, long time. I think we're going to do a smaller one that can be adjusted later. What do you think? So I've committed myself to, thank you. This is Caribbean calcite and clear quartz. And I have committed myself to coming on every Thursday and making inventory because I do a lot of in-person shows. And I'm always scrambling at the last minute to make inventory. So I decided that if I do this weekly, I can slowly build up. You know what I mean? Thank you, love. Are you going to come back to selling? Or are you just going to come hang out with us? Or I know I'm asking all these personal things publicly, but we miss you. Just saying. So I'm just going to hook this on. I think for right now, I am... Yeah, I'm just going to use a smaller one for now. And if I sell it, somebody needs it bigger or sized, I've made it to the point that I can adjust it for whomever purchases it. That's usually how I like to do it. So we can, although I want to make sure this is good and closed before I do this. So this is like a 8mm, really heavy duty. I want to say it's like a 14 gauge. Let's see if I can get it to close. But I want it to be a little, there we go, smoother, because I don't want to smash. I don't want it to catch on anything, you know? We're doing this. Hook the other end. We're going to hook our little dangle that we made to match our earrings. And then we're going to put the larger jump ring on there. Side to side. And these are 18 gauge jump rings. They are a little, they take a little bit more muscle. But I think it's worth it at the end. There we go. So, welcome everybody. So there's that. I really like that a lot. Why do I make this jewelry that I love so much? I cannot wear this. This is for the show. But it's really pretty. I need some ear wires for this. And we're not going to make more ear wires, you guys. Whatnot, there's so many changes with Whatnot. It's kind of wonky doodle. Did you remove? Thank you, love. What? Okay, let's do this a different way. I would say, because it's been so long since you've been on, I would say maybe uninstall the app and reinstall it, just to eliminate all of the dysfunctions. Because it's been what, a year since you've been on? It's been like a year, right? Yeah. There's been so many updates, and if your phone is just trying to catch up with all those updates, it may be just acting cray-cray. I've gotten to the point, because I do so many shows and we do live streaming, about every once a month, I literally uninstall Whatnot and reinstall it just so it resets everything on my phone, so it doesn't act crazy. So try that, bibs. But I'm so happy you're back. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of new people. Like a bazillion tons of new people. I have been really well. Rob and I have been doing live thrifting. I just added a second live thrifting show this week to try it out with my daughter. And I'm doing a lot of in-person shows at like gem and mineral shows. Yes. They changed that. There's a lot of new sellers. There's a lot of politically correct, Tim. Politically correct. There's a lot of people selling I know, shut your mouth, Tam. There's a lot of people selling junk for cheap, which hurts the sellers that are trying to sell quality. But the newer beaters don't care, so it's been kind of challenging. But all of our peeps hang out and we're good. So anyway, it's good. It would be very good to have you back. I'm still doing the artisan creative train. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary on that. I do that every month. It's the second Monday of every month. Daydreamer Debbie is still doing the atelier train the third Thursday of every month. Yeah, it's upcoming Monday. It'll be all day. Wednesday, I'm co-hosting a crazy craft D-stash train with Dana's Fancy Feathers, and that is going to be all day of craft D-stash, $3 start, sudden death. So that's going to be all day Wednesday. And then Thursday we have Atelier Artisan Train, which is a whole day of 30-minute demos. And yeah, it's kind of a crazy week. So there's a lot going on. You are welcome to message me if you have any questions or need anything. You know that. I'm always open. So that's where we are. So, y'all, we got this done. We did this set. Hi, Mary. How are you, love? I was talking about you earlier. It was good. So we did the Caribbean calcite. We did the crystal. And I think 2 full sets is a good day. What do we think? Are we good? We're good with 2 sets for the day. Does anybody need any beads or findings? Thank you, Mary. Anybody need beads or findings before we go? I will be happy to run them for you if you need them. It is going to be... I won't be having a beads and findings show next Wednesday because that's the crazy crafty D-stash train. So I'm going to be on that all day. Heather, thank you. We made these today. Love you, babe. I'm so happy and I'm so proud, and congratulations on the new baby boy. That is awesome. Yes, it's all day. Monday, all day is Artisan Creative Train. Tuesday afternoon is Life Thrifting with Jordan. Thank you, babe. I actually have kits available for that one. So that's a thing. Alice suggested that I go through all of my kits from the last 3 years because, I've made a lot of kits in the last 3 years, and just start demoing them and then selling the leftover kits. So I think we're going to start doing that. Among some other things, I had a request to make spiders. I do natural stone spiders for the gem and mineral shows. I'm going to have to make some anyway, so I'm probably in the next few weeks going to do that as a demo. If you have requests for demos, just send me a message. If there's something that you particularly need to learn, I can probably direct you to a YouTube video. If you're not following me on YouTube, my YouTube is Tam's Creative Journey, all one word, no spaces. and most of the tutorials are over there now. So we multicast over there, and that way you can pause, rewind, stop, go back and watch what I'm doing. And there's actually one over there that is all the basics of beading. Excuse me. And it teaches you how to make all of your own. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's, I know how to do a peyote stitch bracelet. I will not do it live, however, because there's certain cuss words I shouldn't use on a live. I love you, Mary. Um, Funny story, peyote stitch. I talked MBH Creations, Libby, into doing a demo, and she didn't want to do it. This has been, I don't know, it's been like 3 years ago. She'd never done a demo before, and she decided she was going to teach the peyote stitch, but the only way she would do it is if I co-hosted her. So I started my show, co-hosted her, and her very first demo was the peyote stitch earrings. It was hilarious. It was a whole thing. Okay. Nobody needs beads. Guys, it's been a blast. Thank you. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Alice, are you going on tonight? Do you want to go live? Greta, somebody go live? There is nobody on. Hold on. 10 more minutes. Why 10 more minutes, Greta? Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't think you were going to with the grands there, but I was just double checking. I love you, Georgia. Thank you. Yeah. This stone. I love it so much. The clear quartz with the Caribbean calcite. I love a lot. I'm gonna make one with the copper because I like the copper better. Take you on a field. Oh my god, no, my house is a disaster. It takes you 10 minutes to walk up the stairs. I love you, Greta. Oh, shiz. That's fun. That was really funny. Okay, we're gonna grab some copper wire. We're gonna play. Let's do these. We'll do these with copper. Greta, this is how much I love you right now. Okay, take your copper wire. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Taking you on a field trip. I'm taking you on a. Let me straighten this real quick. Okay, so here's the thing. To make ear wires, everything's stuck to my phone. Let me put you back up in here so I can see chat while I'm doing this. We're going to do ear wires real quick. To make ear wires, you want to have 2 to 2¼ inches. We're going to go with 2¼ just so we can snip things off. You always want to try to flush cut. I'm going to do the other one, 2¼ Got that. Bam. Okay, so those are for our ear wires. And then we are going to use, what is this? Oh, I don't want that. I need 22 gauge. Somebody tell me where the 22 gauge went. All right, well. We'll use this. This will be fun. We're going to try this. So for head pins, or the knotted head pins, you want to start out with 3 inches. So we're going to grab 2 of those. And this is going to be kind of wonky because this is actually half round wire. We're going to see how this works out for us, okay? And then we're going to grab some more 20 gauge. And we need some I love Greta a lot to be doing this. You know that, right, guys? There's 2. Here, let's do 2 more in case we need it. No. I'm not looking at chat. Give me a second. I'm chopping wire, guys. Did I miss something? Okay, there we go. All right, got it. Now we can look at chat. Wait. I see Leslie. Hi, a reworker's passion. Ma'am, that bright pink just blam in my chat. That is awesome. How are you, my friend? It's just been a minute. Thank you for joining us. I'm last minute killing time because, you know, Greta is taking forever to get ready. So we're going to make ear wires. When you do your ear wires, we're going to repeat this. How have you been, Leslie? You want a flush cut, cover, snip, and set that aside, okay? We're going to flip them over, make sure they're even, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We had this conversation earlier. I'm going to repeat it. Every time I do these, I'm going to repeat it. You absolutely positively have to file down these ends because you cannot leave raw wire to stick in somebody's earlobe because it will cut it, it will rip it, and it causes bad injuries. If you do not have the proper tools to file these smooth, don't make your own ear wires. That's my thing for the day. Okay. We are going to see where I stuck there underneath all these beads. So we are going to start out even ends. We're using the 3mm. Make sure this is flush. We're going to roll these around until it meets back here where we started. Grab a hold, flip backwards. That is the beginning of our ear wires. Okay. At this point, you can put beads of your choice on here. I think just to show you how to do that, we're going to throw on some, yeah, we'll just throw on, no, we're not going to, let's see if we have some little itties. 6mm are probably going to be too big. Let's see. Look. These are going to match really well. These are some vintage. Oh no, those are too green. Sorry, I lied. That's not going to match. Everybody. Let's see what these will do. I'm going to find these and I'm going to love them, and we're going to see if they're going to fit on our 20 gauge wire. I'm thinking we could have. Nope. Okay. That was a good idea. Back up, reverse. New plan, my friends. All right, we'll stick to the copper. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, I'm Tam. Um, we are playing in the bedroom today, making the things, and right now we happen to be making a pair of ear wires. So once you've done this, you can string on your beads. This is just a faceted copper. We are going to put that on. Excuse me. When you do this, it really, to look more professionally made, pay attention to where your wire meets. So if your wire meets, you want it at the back of your earring. So what you want to do is hold this and bend this away from the back. So it's going to look something like this. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. We're going to bend it away from the back. Make sure it's straight. And I'm going to take these and we're going to look at it. We're going to see if they're bent at the same angle. They are. Then we're going to go back to our 6-step pliers. And what I like to do is line these up. And I'm going to set it right in here. And for this pair, we're going to do the biggest one. Make sure everything is lined up. And you just want to bend this around until it comes down and meets those. Okay. While this is still here, I didn't show this the last time, but we're going to do it this time. First of all, I want to make sure these are flush cut and they're even. So I'm going to snip those off. And then I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to grab that end and bend it up a little bit. Okay. We've made a pair of ear wires. Now, pay attention. You need a file because you need to 100% file any sharp edges off. If you don't have the tools, if you're not willing to file these off, buy your ear wires from somebody. I had a dear friend that got her earlobe sliced open from a pair of handmade earrings that had not been made properly. Very, very important. Make sure there are no rough edges. They do make a tool for this. It is called a burr cup. And it looks like this. It is a small cup file. And you put this over this. And I'm twisting and I'm filing. And I'm making sure that this is smooth so it can go in somebody's ear, right? Just like that. We'll do the same thing to this one. File off any edges. Make sure we have all the sharp edges off. Once you get the most of it, you can do this with a file. You don't have to have the burr cup. You can just file this down. I'm twisting and I'm making sure that I have all the sharp edges off. The next thing you want to do when making ear wires is you want to work hard in these. So, this is copper. It's going to bend. You don't want it to bend out of shape. The way to work hard in these is to get either a bench block or something solid. You want to hold this on the edge, just like this, and you're going to get your nylon hammer and you're just going to tap it down. What that does is it work hardens your wire so it's not springy any longer. It's going to pretty much stay in that shape. If you're buying commercial ones, they usually throw them in a huge tumbler, and that's how they get work hardened. But when you're doing handmade things, you can just do a couple pairs at a time. If you have a rock tumbler, you can make a whole bunch of them and toss them in the rock tumbler with some rubber pellets, and that will work harden them for you. So see how that's going to hold its shape now? It springs back. The other thing you can do with these is take the back edge, and you can take your chasing hammer, and when you go to flatten something, I taught you this when we were doing paddle pins, is you strike and pull, and what that does is it just gives it that little fancy edge that most store-bought earrings have. So see how you have that little shiny edge there? We're going to do that with the other one. Is she? About time. Thank you, Wendy. Thanks, babe. Okay, thank you. Rob just brought me hot coffee, you guys. And there we have. And that is how you make your own ear wires. So I'm going to take the rest of these. I'm going to do some knotted head pins. Does anybody need to see how to do the knotted head pin again? Do we got it? We want to go see Greta? I hear you. I'm down with Greta. Okay, so Caribbean calcite bracelet and earrings. This is what we accomplished today, my friends. These are fun. Crystal bracelet with some earrings. Scooch these over so you can see it all. There we have it. Rob, Wendy said hi. All right. Wendy said hello. Hello. Okay, my friends, we're going to go see what Greta's doing. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for your purchases. Thank you for the follows. Please bookmark all of my future shows. Maybe we're going to raid. Yeah, we are. And Rob, please don't. We are going to go see what Greta's doing. Good night, love. Good night, everybody. Much love to each and every one of you. Have a blessed rest of your night, and I will see you soon. Night.